Well, eating disorders affect an estimated 5 to 10 million females and 1 million males across the U.S. In fact, by the time children reach 4th grade, 80% of them have already been on a diet.
A startling majority of those with eating disorders are women between the ages of 12 and 25. 40% of girls between the ages of 9 to 10 are already trying to lose weight. Joining us this morning to talk about this ongoing problem is Dr. Stark-Helton-Locke. She's a Bay Area psychologist and also a family therapist. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's start by addressing some of the warning signs that parents might be on the lookout for their kids.
I think the first thing for parents to be aware of is if there's a sudden drop in weight or an increase in weight in your child or your teenager. A second sign for parents to be aware of will be if there's a sudden change in an exercise routine that's very rigid, grueling, and strictly adhered to. Another warning sign for parents to look for would be if their child or their teenager during a meal suddenly gets up to go to the bathroom, or after a meal immediately goes to the bathroom, and then maybe deciding to take a shower immediately after a meal. That might be a warning sign. Another warning sign that particularly Bay Area parents need to be aware of is if your child decides to become a vegan or a vegetarian. That can mask an eating disorder. I'm not saying vegetarians have eating disorders. I'm saying that a child can use that as a ruse to disguise their maladaptive eating patterns.
Let's step back and find out what drives or fuels this. We've heard multiple reasons why maybe.
Yeah.
So is it celebrity? Is it magazines showing glamorous models? Is it peer pressure?
Yeah.
I think that the first thing I want your viewers to understand is, despite research, the causes of eating disorders is still elusive. Now, we know factors that are associated with the onset and maintenance of an eating disorder, and of course our culture's drive for, focus, overvaluation of thinness is a factor that leads to an eating disorder. However, most of the recent research is saying that certain neurobiological factors and personality factors are highly correlated with the onset of an eating disorder.
And this is why we're seeing so young already starting to express the dieting and the disorder?
Yes, what we know so far is because of our culture's dieting focus and overvaluation of thinness, children will start dieting and have body dissatisfaction. However, for a subgroup of our children, because of certain neurobiological factors and personality traits, they can take those patterns to extreme and have extreme dieting, extreme exercising, and that is, why we see it in such young children.
What are some tips for preventing eating disorders?
I think that as parents, what we need to do is reinstitute the family meal. And I know that may sound strange. That's not, going to prevent one. But what you do in a family meal is you have an opportunity to observe your child's eating behaviors. And so if something is going awry, you're able to notice it more quickly and get help more quickly. And also during that time, you can model acceptance of food and, not be talking about food as good and bad, but more about as a lifestyle and nutrition and whole foods and important for us.
And one of the things you pointed out was this is just girls, and this isn't. This goes across all ethnic groups, all socioeconomic fields, and so on and so forth.
I think that's another common misunderstanding about eating disorders, is that it only occurs in girls. This is not true. It occurs in girls, women, it occurs in boys and men. In fact, 1 out of 4 pre-adolescent cases of anorexia nervosa occurs in boys.
25%. Okay. Dr. Stark-Helton-Locke has been joining us. If you'd like more information on resources, all you have to do is go to counselingcalifornia.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me and providing this information.
We appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll be right back.